Hey everybody, and welcome to the Army Showcase. The Army Showcase is where we look at different armies from different games. Now today we're going to have a look at an army from Warlord Games' Epic Battles Hail Caesar, and this is an army from their Hannibal set. Now previously, in a previous video, we actually showcased the infantry part of this army, and in order for the video not to be 2 hours long, we decided to break it down. So in this video, we're going to have a look at the cavalry part of the army that Laisu painted. Now this army is painted by Laisu. It's a really nice job. Now if you haven't had a look at the infantry paint job video, go and have a look. The link is in the description. Very quickly, I must say, the cavalry pieces in this showcase is just as well done as the infantry. And I would like to say that if I was going to look at this army in its entirety, this army combines really well to have one of those showcases where if you put this on show, it's worth the few minutes you stop to admire it. Now, I asked Laisu about his thoughts on doing the cavalry, and he mentioned that he wanted to mimic the shield effect created with infantry. So, masking of the miniatures with masking tape and blue tack was part of the process. The decals, now the decals provided by Warlord fit perfectly onto the heavy cavalry shields. And it was a much easier process compared to the infantry models. And that makes sense though, because the infantry had 10 figures, with not all their shields facing forward. So it was very difficult to affix the decals on it. This showcase will show you how you can take a small variety of sculpts and try to do as many different variations as possible. Because in this showcase, we're only gonna show you the medium cavalry and the light cavalry, and also some of the character models, commanders and stuff like that. So part of the trick here is seeing how Laisu's managed to put things or at least compose the cavalry into really nice mixture of colors without it looking too varied, and unifying it as a whole. All right, so let's have a look at the cavalry with their yellow shields. Very nice. Right. I think seeing how the shields, like really pop. Your eyes just go to the shields. Of course, there's a lot of good work done for the cavalry, but your eyes just go to the shields, and the payoff is fantastic when it comes to this. Very nicely done. More or less a color switch for the red shields. But again, if you were to look at it in passing, you'd think it's a whole new design, and this is color at work here, color and composition, right? So you can actually see that from one to another, just choosing the right colors, you can actually give the illusion of variety without even like having variety. And then we got the light cavalry. Shields in this one are pretty simple, but check out the shading of this one. Very nice. It gives a little bit of depth. It makes the shield look quite interesting, even though it's just a simple design like that, and not much decal happening. No, actually, no decals happening on this. But get the colors done nicely, and this is a win. Actually, you know what? If you're having trouble, or you don't want to go through all this hassle of doing a lot of decals, right? Just get shields done nice, and I think that will be okay. That will be more than okay. As you can see here, the blue ones, just like I said, very simple. A little darker shade gives it a little bit, makes it look interesting and variety without having to work too hard to get that. The trick here is Laisu did use an airbrush. You can almost get the same effect using a brush on its own. I mean, a little bit extra work though, but even airbrushing is its own set of problems. All right, so as with the infantry, I poked him for the process that he used, and this is it. So he primed and zenithal highlighted with the Liquitex titanium white. And step two, he masked off the non-shield areas. He At step three, he airbrushed the shields for the smooth transitions and gradients, and then used gloss varnish to provide a smooth surface for the decals. Yeah, applying decals helps immensely with the right tools, as we said earlier, which is like I said, a great tip, and I don't mind repeating it twice. The decal softener help with the decals to confirm better. Matte varnish was used to lock in the decals. Yeah, so just as he did with the infantry, he wanted to make sure that the decals participated in the blending process. For step 8, he used Valio Express colors and contrast paints for the slap chop, and then the metallics were highlighted. Step 10, the oil wash was done with a mix of black, blue, brown. The entire model, the wash is allowed to sit for about an hour before removing the excess with a makeup sponge, cotton buds, and brushed with white spirits when needed. The wash was then allowed to dry overnight. And all the rest of the steps are pretty much the same as it did with the infantry. So I'm not going to go through them all over again. Now, for all you painters out there, here's the paint recipe Laisu used for the cavalry. The skin was based with a Vallejo express color, buff skin, and highlighted with a Vallejo model color, sunny skin tone. The red tunic used the Vallejo express color, Seraph red, Vallejo express color, plasma red, and highlighted with a Vallejo model color, dark vermilion. The white tunic was based with a Games Workshop's apothecary white and highlighted with a Vallejo model color, off white. The green tunic was based with the Games Workshop's Plague Bearer Flesh and highlighted with Games Workshop's Plague Bearer Flesh with Vallejo model color ice yellow mixed in. The wood was based with a Vallejo model color orange brown, highlighted with Vallejo model color gold brown. The leather base was based with a Games Workshop color seagull brown. The blacks were done with a Games Workshop color black Templar and highlighted with the Vallejo model color French Mirage blue. The white was done with a base of Games Workshop color Apothecary White and highlighted with Vallejo watercolor off-white. Now the red shields, the base use Liquitex Naphthol Crimson, Liquitex Orange Yellow Azo, and highlighted with Vallejo watercolor Dark Vermilion and Vallejo model color Flat Yellow. The blue shields were based with liquid color Turquoise Deep, the Liquitex Phytaclocine, Phytaclocinine blue, Liquitex titanium white, and was highlighted with Vallejo game color turquoise with Vallejo model color off white. The yellow shields was based with Liquitex transparent burnt sienna, Liquitex orange azo, Liquitex medium azo, and highlighted with Vallejo model color flat yellow and Vallejo model color ice yellow. Oil wash, use black, brown, and blue. Decals, use the decal softener. Now, the for the horses, it was basically basically used light brown. For the light brown, he used Vallejo Express Wasteland Brown and highlighted with a Vallejo model color German Camo Orange Ochre. For the leather, Express Copper Brown and highlighted with the Vallejo model color Light Brown. For the hair and hooves, Citadel Black Legion. For the chestnut brown horses, he based with speed paint, hardened leather, and Games Workshop gargantuan fur and highlighted with Vallejo model color orange brown. For the leather, use express paint wasteland brown and highlighted with Vallejo model color light brown. As for the hair, he used sand golem. The white patches used Vallejo model color off white as the base and highlighted with a Vallejo model color off white and Liquitex titanium white. The alternative hair bits was based with Games Workshop Gargantuan Fleur and highlighted with Vallejo model color orange brown. The hooves, Citadel Black Legion. For the dark horses, he based it with City Psycho Brown, 50-50 water, and highlighted with Vallejo model color wood grain. Leather Express Copper Brown was used for the leather, and then for the highlights, Vallejo model color light brown. The hair hooves again, Citadel Black Legion. So let's have a look at the commander. Very nice, lots of detailing. If you go into the figure with a brush and just pick out the details, right? You don't really have to do too much, to get a very nice effect. Of course, Laisu did, went the full 9 yards here, but you don't really have to. Just picking out a detail would actually make the figure pop, as you can see from a distance. You don't see much of a shade thing happening, but you come up close, you can totally appreciate the work that's been put. But if you are doing this on your own and this is too daunting, just make sure you just pick out the uh, the details, and this should be fine. And here's the other commander, as you can see, on the black horse. And even on the black horse, although the black horse can be kind of, or dark horse, what you call it. You might be feeling muted, but if you pick out the details, with this, the details just scream out, right? At this scale, this would work. In fact, I think if you want to accomplish something like this, all you need is just a whole lot of patience. Just get this thing finished, and then you will probably be happy with the results. And finally, the overall army commander. As you can see over here, the big question Laisu was facing was whether to put one or two onto a base, right? He went with two, which I think is a really good idea. It gives the overall army, general, an even more bigger feel with his aide by his side, right? Who's equally well painted and nicely decorated, right? So again, you know, choosing color, picking out detail, and you can actually get this. You can actually get this effect. Um, the only thing you gotta pay for is time, and you know, it's not difficult to pay, you know, time for a result as good as this. Of course, a little bit of skill is required as well, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of time. Now, I hope you enjoyed this showcase. It was a joy for me to put this showcase up along with the infantry ones. This is the army I've been keeping an eye on for about a year or two, ever since Laisu decided that he wanted to paint this army. So I'm very, very glad to see it out, and I'm very, very glad to see it in my hands for me to showcase it to you. Again, we'd totally appreciate some comments on the army. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, don't forget to enjoy painting those figures.